I love that interstitial, I think, is Brett Ehrlich on a kazoo. Like I'm 99.9% sure it's Brett.
Please confirm, Brett, if you're listening.
Yeah, well, he is. Brett's always.
He's always around. He is always listening. He is an omnipresence here.
Brett's always listening, guys. Everybody needs to know this. All right, Yasmin, who's your garbage person for this week?
My garbage person is Kevin McCarthy, the now ousted Speaker of the House, no longer. And the reason why is not just because he tried to blame him being ousted on the Democrats. It's because he got ousted in the first place. That, to me, makes him a garbage person. He's such a sucker that I think he's trash. And just the fact that he was willing to, throw everybody under the bus, all the American people, just sell us all up the river so that he could secure this speakership, not really knowing, like the rest of us, we don't really know exactly what he promised to these people in the Freedom Caucus to get that position. After 15 votes, he was nationally humiliated, and then he still took the job like a sucker, put us all through his speakership and his incompetence on top of all of that. And all of that just to be ousted by the same people who put him in there. So trash. That was your fault for not knowing better, Kevin McCarthy. We all saw it coming. Why didn't you? You're a garbage person.
Yeah, absolutely. He's such a loser, and I agree with you. And
nobody likes you, Kevin McCarthy. Like that's how I feel.
No, and I do think that, like, I think AOC, she went live the day that the McCarthy was ousted, and she explained a lot of things, which is effectively like he even when he promised the right wingers stuff, he couldn't make good on that. Like he didn't. Yeah. He promised everyone the moon and the stars, and then lied to their faces and did the exact opposite.
Yeah, so he was ineffective across the board. Like totally whoever ineffective. He was dealing with, he certainly didn't get whatever he wanted out of this either.
Well, yeah, and again, the question is, what do Republicans ultimately want generally? They want to bring the government to a halt and stop everything until, I don't know, their tax breaks for who, I don't know, their pets, cousins, mouses, nephew,
yeah,
I don't know.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's basically what they want to do. And so, the question is, yeah, exactly. Well, who's going to do it better? Who's going to be more effective? I doubt it'll be Jim Jordan, but Kevin McCarthy was a two-faced idiot, and you're totally right for choosing him.
He was so bad at even just being their pawn. Like, how bad of a speaker do you have to be bad at being a pawn? That's the only reason why he was in the position in the first place. That's why it took 15 rounds of voting to get him there. And he was bad at that. So.
Well, you can't be a pawn. I mean, this is the thing. This is the last thing I'll say. You can't be a pawn if you're going to be the speaker. You kind of have to actually be the leader, because otherwise you're going to get walked all over a million times. And the fact that he gave them the one motion to vacate vote will convoke this or call the vote. Like, that's perfect example of why he's a terrible speaker. Mm-hmm. You actually have to push back on people. You have to push, no matter what they call you, no matter what they threaten, you have to push back.
And that's the thing. I think that's why so few people want this job, because look at Congress today. Look at how divided it is and how partisan it is, right? All of these votes come down to maybe one or two votes as far as whether or not they're going to pass. And the speaker needs to be the person who's in charge of all the children in the classroom, right? Yep. They have to be able to work with both sides of the aisle and make sure that everybody is coming to the votes and make sure that things are going to go smoothly and run smoothly. But instead, we got Kevin McCarthy, and he can't even control these few people that he has to deal with all the time. So he's the one being controlled. He lost power from the minute that he was elected speaker this last time. He never had control of that room.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.